Hey there, in this video I'm going to show you some of the tricks of working with After Effects. Okay, we're going to bring in an After Effects file, show you some of the tips and tricks of importing, and then how to work with it when it's on the timeline, specifically something called render and replace. And yeah, let's do that. All right, let's jump in. Okay, so working with After Effects files is pretty easy. There are a few little tricks to make us better Premiere Pro After Effects users. So I've got a file to bring in. So normally you do, your project file, you go file import, and you'd bring in logo reveal. Okay, so it's in your co-working folder. It's in After Effects project. Okay, it's called logo reveal. Bring that in, and it's not the bad way, but it's not the most optimal way. So what it's doing is it's looking at After Effects files and seeing if there's more than one composition. In After Effects, if you don't use it very much, a composition is what we in Premiere world call a sequence. So there's two sequences to pick from. Which one? I have no idea. And if you're like me and use After Effects a bit, you never name your comps. You should, but you don't. So it's better to use, I canceled that by the way, is to use our media browser, okay, to explore After Effects files, because it allows us to preview them before we bring them in. Otherwise we have to import them, see where they are, import them, see what they are. Okay, whereas the media browser, okay, which is member window down to media browser. Okay, and I'm going to go to, I've got a shortcut set up for my exercise files already. If you don't, go to home directory and dig it out and right click it, set a favorite for the exercise files. Okay, I've already done mine. So in here, you need to be, actually you don't need to be, you can be in list view or thumbnail view. Weird thing with After Effects files, even in thumbnail view, you don't get an instant preview. So exercise files, I'm on thumbnail view, I'm going to go into co-working folder. And I'm going to find the AE. Okay, so that's my After Effects file. There's no little preview here in thumbnail, which I don't know. I think there should be. But the problem is it's more than one comp in here, so it doesn't know which one to preview. So maybe that's it. So you can though double click it to go in, and you can actually go inside the After Effects folder. It does take a little bit of time. Give it the dynamic link server. Just briefly, the dynamic link server is just a way of connecting files dynamically from After Effects to Premiere. And it just means when you update After Effects files, they update instantly in Premiere Pro, which is really nice. But it actually opens up the After Effects file and says, do you want comp 1 or comp 2? And you're like, these thumbnails aren't helping, but you can double click them. Okay, and they're not imported yet, but you can preview them up here and kind of work your way through which one you want. In my case, I've got two kind of logo stings, okay, for the beginning of our little project here. Okay, I'm going to open up the second one. So one's purple, and for some reason this morning, doesn't always do this. If I double click either the first one, you see it says comp 1. If I double click the second one, it still says comp 1. Let me know in the comments whether yours is fixed or not. I'd be interested to know whether, yeah, mine's broken, everyone's broken. The way to get around this is to close. So I hit the little lines there and then open the second one. Okay, and you can see this is the second one. Just a different colorway. It might be a completely different project or a different composition that's inside After Effects, and you can work your way through them. So we can bring it straight from the media browser. So that's not imported, right? Because we're using the media browser. We can import it by dragging it into the project or just drag it straight into the comp. Who remembers what I can hold down to kind of push all this along? You remember Command on a Mac, Control on a PC, and I'm going to put it there and it just pushes it all along. Ripple insert is what I want to say. Whatever that is, pushing it all along thing. All right, my problem is I've still got my in and out points over here, so it's jumping out there. Let's clear the in and out points. And now let's talk about some of the things you can do. So obviously inserting After Effects is pretty easy. Media browser is a little bit extra handy. What we're going to do is I'm going to set it to full. Mine's playing back okay. Okay, so often After Effects compositions won't, okay? I try to add some motion blur and stuff to it to make it stress the computer out, but it's actually doing just fine. So let's imagine that it's running really slowly. We know that we can render in and out. So O, hit enter on my keyboard, and we'll render this little chunk and work fine. The trouble with it though is if I end up moving it and using it somewhere else, you can see it's gone red. If I start adjusting it, it kind of, for something like this, because I've done it in After Effects, it's done. I don't need this to not be done, to change it anymore. Okay, I need it to be finished. It's something that I use on, say, loads of projects. It might be social media kind of like call outs, or it might be, say, the end of your video, some sort of kind of trailer, or maybe it's like the YouTube what next kind of brackets and kind of, you know, what to view next and click on the channel and buy merch type of thing. It's something you've made in After Effects and you don't need to redo it all the time, okay, or have it rendered every time. So what you do is you do something called, so we don't need in and out, okay, and all we do is up here with it selected, we go to our sequence, and we've used render in and out just then. Okay, this one here, it's called render, no, it's called render and replace. Where is it? It's not up there at all. You right click it down here, okay, and say render and replace. So this is different from the other ones. The other ones were like temporary files, okay, created. And this one does a similar job, but kind of more like proxies. It's kind of somewhere in the between. Okay, so what it's gonna do is it's gonna render it and actually make a new video, but it's not making like a temporary proxy video. It's actually the finished version. So make sure that you are on your sequence settings, okay, sequence settings, that this is all kind of how you want it to be when it exports. It's the right size, okay, frame rate's perfect, because that's gonna use that to create a replacement for this. And slightly different from proxies, it's actually the thing that's gonna go out, okay? It's like a replacement for it, never to be switched out again. Does that kind of make sense? Render and replace, just do it, Dan. Pick a format, I'm gonna use QuickTime. These presets will change depending on your sequence settings, okay? So find something that you want to work with. My case, you know, something like this, match source, ProRes 422 is going to be perfect, okay? Or that one there, because I know it's 25 frames per second in HD. Okay, let's hit, it's going to create a new file next to my original one, okay? You can include video effects. So if we've added noise or something else to it, it will smush them together, okay? I don't have anything else applied to it. Let's click OK. Now what happens is this file is actually not the After Effects file anymore. Okay, and can you see the red bar or the green bars are gone? Because it's actually just plain old MOV now, sitting in my hard drive. Let's have a look. So this was the logo reveal, okay, that I imported into After Effects. It's not using that anymore. It's using this new file with the great name comp2 logo reveal underscore blah, blah, blah rendered.mov. Okay, so it's used that now and switched it out. So you could go through and delete this now. You don't want to, obviously, but you can. I'm trying to make a point here, I guess. So yeah, it's just using that file now. And you can copy it and paste it and make sure it goes onto the right track, okay, with your track targeting. Okay, but it's just a file you can use. Because yeah, let's say you're not going to reuse it, you know, just use it as is. It doesn't need to be changed. If you do need to change it, oh, other thing is that it's actually imported into your project as well. There it is there. Okay, it's a second MOV, not the After Effects file. So if you do later on though need to change it and you need to unpick that, you can right click it and say restore unrendered to go back to that kind of After Effects version of it. So notice that here's my MOV, there's the After Effects file that I've imported. Okay, if I hit restore unrendered, watch that project file. You see that actual file disappeared? Okay, so it went back, it's now using this, and it needs to be rendered again. It might run slowly, but you can make changes to it if you need to. Cool, so when you are using After Effects files, it's gonna stress your machine out pretty heavily, so just render and replace. You can go back afterwards. If you're doing lots of changes to your After Effects files, probably just use your normal render in effects in and out, okay, just to make it run fast. But if you're doing lots of changes, it's gonna have to update all the time. But there's lots of times where After Effects, you know, the like and subscribe little thing that appears, you need that just to not be this crazy bit of animation that slows down your machine. It's the same every month or week or day, whatever your process is. A couple of things also to note when you are using that render and replace, okay, is that a few things won't be included in that render and replace, okay, that you can do afterwards. So in terms of, say, a fade in, okay, so I've got my opacity rubber band showing. Okay, so I've got opacity showing there, command or control click, okay, to add a couple of points. So that won't be included, okay, if you rendered that in and out. So restore unrendered, and I go and render that now, that opacity is not like part of it, not baked in. It's something over the top of the original file. Same with, say, like an effect. So if I go to effects and I go transitions and I use dissolve and I go cross dissolve, Insufficient media, that's okay. And this isn't baked into it as well. Like, see, this kind of like half and half. Okay, other things that aren't baked in, any time remapping. So if I use the R key for rate stretch, okay, if I make that heaps faster, and I go into and say render and replace, that's not like baked into it. It's an effect applied after. I can still render it, render and replace, but it won't include that. Even if I include video effects, okay, it won't bake in opacity, it won't bake in transitions, and it won't bake in rate stretch. It will bake in if I go and add something like noise. I'm not sure why I always go back to noise, but hey, noise and grain. If I add that now and start cranking it up, and then I go and say render and replace, and I tick that box on, that will be part of that original file. Let's have a look at it in our project file. It's that one there, is it? Double click it. Can you see it's all part of it now? But the opacity fade in isn't. All right, that is it. That is working with After Effects. Let's look at going the other way around. Let's stick stuff into After Effects from Premiere Pro.